Well, hello, friends. Welcome to another edition of Afterburner. It is Ryan Pinder alongside the man we call Bobby Germany. Because his name's Robert Munich. Robert gets shortened to Bobby, and Munich, a city in Germany.
It's a hell of a nickname. I've never had anybody call me that before. It's actually phenomenal.
I don't, well, I do like giving myself compliments, but I don't do it often. I'm good at nicknames. Whenever I label a nickname, it sticks forever. And we called you Bobby Germany right away. How could you shake it?
You've done it again. You've done it again, Pinder.
Robert Munich, and you don't call him Bobby Germany, you're punted from YouTube. Delete and banned for life. Or not. We'll find out what happens. Welcome to Afterburner. It is a presentation of our good friends at Bet365. Yes. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary. Bet365. Download the app and get in the game. Use that code NATION. You better have that app. Things get spicy. Like you might be sitting on a Coronado 5-shot prop, and he's at 3 and then gets 2 in his last shift.
Oh, baby.
Oh!
I know it's at the very end of the game. He was just pounding Vasilevsky with shots. That's
I sent him a note. He reads this one in the No, he doesn't. I'm just kidding.
Fantastic.
3, ladder to 4, ladder to 5. Jack, come on. They're not all winners, but how excited was I for the end of a 5-1 game? Huh?
Pretty pumped.
That's why we watch the games.
Courtesy Bet365. I may even be able to afford an Amber draft or something along. We'll find out. Yeah. Anyway. Bet responsibly, have fun, download the app, use the code NATION. Also, if you want to get involved in the show, we welcome you to do that. You do so via the Super Chat. It's very simple. Attach a monetary donation. We'll shuttle the money to the Youth Centers of Calgary, and your comment will make it live onto YouTube, where it will live forever. So type wisely, my friends.
Yeah, be careful what you say.
Jack, if anything's pertinent, it's a Super Chat. Just fire it right in. I only want to wait to the end. If we're on topic, let her rip. Calgary Flames fall tonight. It was not a close game. It was a horrid start. It is a 5-1 victory for the Calgary Flames and their winning culture 3-game winning streak. You know, with the quotes last week, comes to an end in a place where a lot of good things come to an end for the Calgary Flames. The old Southeast Division swing. Tampa tonight, Friday afternoon. Set your watches. Is Florida. And then, of course, you've got the Carolina on the way through to Nashville. The Carolina, Tampa, Florida stretch has been ridiculous. We mentioned it on the show last couple of days, Bobby. 12 games in the last 4 years. 1 road game against each team every year since COVID. 2-9-1. Make it 2-10-1. This one was not close. An ugly start. Yes for Dustin Wolf. Yes for D-zone coverage. But what a day for the tank, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You know, honestly, I find these are the worst types of games to watch. It's like when a team gets out to a quick lead and then they just sit back for the rest of the night. And then you just watch a team like the Flames just go out and struggle to produce scoring chances. It's like, oh my God, like these are tough games to watch. It was not great.
If you're dipping your toe into the analytics space, trying to figure out what all these advanced numbers mean, people will say score effects. You're like, what the hell are score effects? Like, what does that mean? Tonight is score effects. It was 4-0 when the shots were 6-1 early in the game for Tampa. If you just checked it at the end of the night, you're like, okay, Flames 33 shots, Tampa 23. Oh, wow. Flames must have been good. This game was over early. That is score effects. When you're up 4, the give a S meter starts idling a bit.
Absolutely.
And you're more than happy to get pucks deep and roll your 4 lines, get out of the building with 2 points. That's what the Tampa Bay Lightning did tonight. They victorious and on a nice little run here, Bobby. They're missing some big guns. No Braden Point. No Eric Chernak on the back end. No Hedman.
McDonough.
Amongst others. McDonough out. It didn't look like a team missing 4 impactful guys, which I just listed. So kudos on the Lightning for doing what they're doing.
And my God, how good is Nikita Kucherov?
He's unreal.
Oh my God, he is spectacular to watch. Like
he's an Art Ross candidate every year. Yeah.
So good.
Oh, there it is. Right. We were watching this come in late. It was 3-3 Nashville. W. All right.
Go
Justin
Preds.
R8. Justin Rate. He knows what's up. That's a big battle in the Tank Bowl at the bottom of the standings. Nashville move. They've got 1 or 2 games in hand and now move within a point of the Calgary Flames.
Yeah.
Let's go. We'll check in on that later. We'll take a look at the road ahead. We will talk about this contest, but we'll start with the news of the night, which was not the Flames win nor the Blue Jays signing of Dylan Cease, who is arguably the top free agent pitcher on the market. It is the extension done-ish between the Calgary Flames and Craig Conroy. He gets 2 years added on to this, the final year of his deal, essentially 3 years to continue doing the job that I think he's done a pretty good job at. We could talk about the trades he's made and how we view them, strengths versus weaknesses, the black boxes of how the front office work. We can sort of speculate on that. But the Flames, after a week straight of getting hit over the head with that was a dumb thing to say, Bat, got some good PR today as they leaked out through the people that they tell what's going on in their organization that Craig Conroy is re-upped for another 2 years.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is Eric Francis had mentioned on the broadcast that this deal had been done probably for about 3 or 4 weeks. And the Flames, they were just kind of deciding when they want to announce it because the team has got off to such a terrible start this season. So, it sounds like it was done a while ago, but, give credit to the fans, give credit to some of the local media for really pushing the Craig Conroy narrative, for really honestly getting this over the finish line. I really believe that the outcry and the comments from the fans actually played a role in getting this over the finish line and getting this announced. So shout out to all the fans who made their voices heard. I was very impressed by that.
Yeah, it may have been a factor. We don't know how big. This might have been a in the drawer, announce it when you see fit. And certainly it was a club in need of a PR victory after Don Maloney's interview and then the double down. So, yeah, I think when you heard the Maloney comments and you've seen the direction that Craig's been taking this club, because it was the hand he was dealt and it's the right thing to do, the last week created a lot of doubt and it eroded confidence in this front office. The extension of Craig Conroy should help that the opposite way, build back some confidence in the group. Hey, this is the guy that did a really good job the last 2 drafts. This is a guy that's done a solid to good job at moving out expiring contracts. Have there been some misses? Have there been some below market deals done? Yes. Have there been some clear-cut wins and big W's? Yeah, there's also been those. Are there some that we still need to wait to grade? Absolutely. Like Noah Hannafin out, the 2026 first rounder of Vegas in. We'll see who they pick.
I mean, and that could be in the top 15 this year with the way Vegas is going. I mean, Vegas has not been on a good run. They are dinged up, but...
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. It's a really weird time to look at the NHL standings because I looked this morning before there was 15 games tonight, I believe. Before action started today, there was 4 points separating 6th from 23rd.
That's wild.
And the way you would think about a 23rd place team is like, oh, that team sucks. Bottom third, like what a bunch of losers. And 6th, you're like cup contender. And all we're really saying is like 2 good games in a row versus 2 regulation losses in a row is the difference between 6th in the NHL and 23rd. So trying to figure out the middle of the league right now is very difficult. It's clear Colorado's the best. It's clear that like Nashville, Vancouver, Calgary, St. Louis are struggling. The rest, everyone's really within a week of good hockey from being in or out of a playoff spot, which is unparalleled. I mentioned on the show today, the NHL's on pace for more loser points than they've ever awarded away before. Fewest percentage of games settled in regulation since ties were set to be broken in 83, 84. Teams absolutely are playing to get to overtime if they're close late.
Yeah, it's the closest I've ever seen the NHL, which is exactly what Gary Bettman wants. He wants that parity. Yeah. So this is kind of the desired outcome for him. The one thing I want to go back to there, Pinder, is you mentioned the situation that Craig Conroy took over in 2023. I mean, Brad Treliving left behind a disaster. I think that's one thing we really need to keep in mind here. Like, I know I've seen some criticism of Craig Conroy and the work he's done, but like, if you just go back and look at what he had to deal with, number one, you had a prospect pool that was basically completely depleted.
Yeah, you had there's not a lot in the system. You had Coronado and Wolf, essentially. Zary, not much beyond that. Zary,
yeah, okay. Pretty much. So like,
Pelche
there wasn't
turned to be a
non-event
on
there.
Yeah.
Then you take a look at the 7 pending UFAs. You take a look at the bloated contracts for veteran players. You take a look at the whole Daryl Sutter saga. Like, it's just like it compounds. It's just like more and more and more crap that Craig Conroy had to dig himself out of. Mm-hmm. And when you keep that in mind when analyzing the job he's done so far, I actually think he's been pretty solid. It's not like he came into a situation that was easy where he could just immediately put his fingerprints all over the team. He had to clean up a huge mess for 2 years. And it's pretty much feels like over the last, I don't know, calendar year here, he's actually been able to put his fingerprints on this team. So I'd like to see him continue to build that out here, and I'm happy he got the contract extension.
Yeah, it's starting to happen. When you move out older players for futures, you really have to wait to see the futures before that GM's fingerprints are on the roster. But he didn't make the mistakes that he could have, which would be overpay Lindholm to stay, overpay Hanifin to stay.
I mean, he wanted to. That's the only concerning thing.
Well, he may or may not have. It sounded to me like he was happy to bring those guys back at a number, but the asks weren't within that threshold. But, case to case is a little different. Here's how I'd grade the major deals Craig Conroy's done. His first one he pulls off is at the draft in Nashville, I believe the summer of 23. Tyler Toffoli out, Igor Sharangovich, and a third rounder back. Didn't know a ton about Igor then. Tough to call that a win at this juncture. We'll see what Adar Suniev is. He's in and out of the lineup with the Wranglers. Toffoli's continued to produce. Now, he didn't want to pay what Toffoli wanted, which was a big term deal, and certainly a lot less than he ended up getting in term from San Jose. But you'd like to get more for Tyler Toffoli than he got. Jacob Markstrom, another big deal. Give it a check mark. He gets Kevin Ball. Looks like a 4-5 left shot stabilizing factor, and the first that becomes Cole Reshny. I'd almost grade
that an A. Like I thought that was a phenomenal deal.
It's not close. And by the way, the goalie that replaced Markstrom had better numbers. Markstrom remains Markstrom. Great when he's great. Sometimes just okay. Give him a big win there. Nikita Zadorov was a distraction around the room in the fall of his first season as general manager. He took too little for my liking, but it felt like a discounted sale to get him out. It was getting noisy. His agent was yapping. The room clearly needed Nikita to move on. He gets a third and a fifth, and he had to wait a bunch for the third, I believe. It might even be this summer that's the third that it shows up. So I didn't love the return given what he got in the free agent market in Boston, but I think there was I'm willing to pay the jerk tax to get him out of the room, so to speak.
Yeah. And like in all fairness to Conroy, if you went back and you take the look at the comparables to Nikita Zadorov at the time, they were all kind of going for a third round pick, a fourth round pick, like in that kind of range. And, Zadorov, when he played his best hockey in Calgary, he was a third pairing defenseman. And that's kind of what he was when they traded him. So like, I didn't hate the return, but like you said, you look at what he got in the free agent market, and then you're like, okay, maybe they could have got a little bit more. But at the time,
I don't know how different he is than Brandon Carlo. They're not the same player, but like Carlo got you first at an A, totally different market to sell in. Craig didn't have that market to sell a defenseman, and he also pulled the trigger in the fall, which is something we can loop back on. Clearly, deadline gets elevated prices versus this time of year where desperation isn't at its peak. Lindholm, give him a huge A on that one.
Grand
you
slam.
End up with Matvei Gridin as the pick. Kuznetsov allows you to go get Frost and Farabee. Yes, you had to include a second in Pelche. You also got another later pick and a C prospect in Yermo.
They got Brstevich.
Yurko. And Brstevich as well, who's in the American League. So
and
that's
I think
a huge win.
The pick they used, I think they used it to move up to get Luke Misa. And I mean, who knows what that's going to be, but an interesting prospect to say the least.
Give him the W on that one. Chris Tanev set his price at a first rounder. Didn't get it and didn't wait to the deadline. Now, also, Tanev was going down the tunnel every third game. It felt like that must have been absolute, sweaty palmed, white knuckled watching him approach the deadline. They get a second plus.
That one, I still can't believe there wasn't a GM out there that wasn't willing to throw in a first round pick.
Yeah.
Like,
and maybe they would if you waited, but could you risk losing them for nothing with the injury? We don't know. I'm going to give him sort of the C-type grade on the Tanev deal. And then Hanifin is incomplete. We don't know.
We don't know yet.
Need to see. It's tough to wait a while, but it is an unprotected pick. So we will see where Vegas finishes. We will see what the Flames do. Maybe they can use that pick and their own to move up. Maybe it's a player that's in this lineup in the next 3 years. You need a long time to grade that, where the major returns a first rounder 3 years down the road. That was a 15-year-old human that they traded Noah Hanifin for. The time value of money is significant on that one.
The one other sort of critique I'd have over Conroy is just they always talk about how they want to bring in young players, and I don't know if that's necessarily worked in these trades. Yes, you got Kevin Ball, who's I think he's going to be a really good player for a long time here, but you also get Daniil Miramanov, Trainwreck. You get Artem Grushnikov. He's not sniffing the NHL right now. You got Yegor Sharangovich, who now he's on a 5-year contract that's not looking great. So some of the young players he's brought in, like I get the idea behind it, but I'd rather see them bring in more draft picks, and they can actually select the guys that they want that fit their profile. I think that makes more sense.
Yeah, I'm always leery about young players that haven't hit it because the teams that are trading them know them best. But then you see the Trevor Zegras thing where it's like, oh, he's in Philly, he's great again. And you know, he's done a bit of both. And at the time he made those deals, you want a bit of present, you wanted a bit of futures. I think he's in straight futures mode now with the extension in hand and the Flames sitting in 31st in the NHL. So Craig, an earned extension. Francis reporting it's a 2-year extension, which means this plus 2 more. And I think hopefully that puts a damper on the, as Elliot Friedman appropriately labeled it, the self-inflicted wound of that Don Maloney opened up last Wednesday.
Now, like I've seen some comments on Twitter of people saying, does it really matter that Conroy's extended? Because no matter who you put in that chair, the direction's still going to be coming from ownership and Maloney. I'd be curious to kind of hear your comments on that. Like, do you think that's a fair assessment?
No. I think that if you literally take every word Don Maloney said and treat that as gospel, you'd believe that. But I think if this team is where they are in the standings now and ahead of the Olympic break, they will be selling veterans and they will be collecting younger assets, and their actions speak louder than their words. That's what they have been doing with expiring contracts. Did they miss the opportunity to get a huge haul for Rasmus last year's deadline? Yeah. Could they still get a really nice return for him as a rental and or an extended asset? Yeah, you could. So we'll see. But I don't get the sense that it's Don Maloney giving Connie the marching orders so much as, you know, he's part of a front office that does have a lot of conversations with their owner, you know, speaking with people that have held the post. It's a very active owner. It's someone that checks in a lot. And it's someone that, whether you call it micromanaging or whether you want to say he's hands-on, you know, they have connotations about them. You have to manage up in this GM chair. None of that's new to Craig Conroy. He was a special advisor, then an AGM. This is the environment and ecosystem. It's the only one he's known as an executive in the NHL. None of this is surprising. None of this is like, oh, does he want to stay with all this? Has got to be this is what he knows as a pro hockey team and what it's like to work for one. So I don't put a ton of stock in the Don Maloney is the card player and Connie's just at the table. Like, I look at the way they've operated the drafts, and, you know, Connie's one of his greatest strengths, I believe, is scouting. When he was an AGM, he got out there and watched a lot of the amateur kids that were draft eligible. I really like their last 2 draft classes, not because I'm a draft expert, because all the draft nerds that I know loved their last 2 draft classes. The Nashville one is first, just okay. Honzek does look like he's going to be a middle 6 winger. Bit of a ceiling there, but a player for sure. And everything after that, they've really taken some cuts on some high skill guys.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's probably the most exciting thing, if you're a Flames fan, is just to know that Conroy will be at the helm for at least a couple more drafts. Because you take a look at the work that he's done so far. Like, I really like the home run swings on skill that he's taken, which we haven't really seen in this city really ever, to be totally honest. So
like the Wittenbach kid had another multi-point night at Quinnipiac tonight.
Great example of that, right? So if
doesn't mean he's gonna be a player, but he's knocking it out of the park at the level he's at.
Yeah, and he's a 4th or 5th round pick. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that we're seeing from Conroy in the draft and his scouting staff. So I think that's probably the part you're most excited for if you're a Flames fan right now.
I'd agree. Do you think this puts to bed the Don Maloney thing, or is there still going to be a bit of a hangover of like, what the hell's going on in that office?
Oh, I as long as Don Maloney is with the club, I think there will always be some criticism for him. I don't think it's going away anytime soon. I think he really did some serious damage to his personal brand here.
That's fair. I want to tell you about our good pal Derek Newman and the Derek Newman Group with CAR Realty. Derek had a client appreciation party the other night. I was there. Cammie was there. Cammie's used Derek. A lot of my very close friends have used Derek. He's a go-getter. He's got a great network. He's going to get you what you need, whether that's selling your home at the right price at the right time or finding one for you to move into, whether it's your first time buying or you're a grizzled veteran of home sales and purchases. Derek's there to help you. Unmatched customer service that comes ahead of everything when you work with the Derek Newman Group. Also, never too busy to answer questions. Text them, email them, they'll get right back to you. And beyond real estate, client events, parties, community, where people genuinely enjoy being part of the group. They treat their clients well, like friends, whether it's gifts, referral perks, or surprises and parties. I can speak to it firsthand. Everyone enjoys their time working with Derek. When you need help in real estate, give him a call if you're interested in buying or selling in the greater Calgary area. 403-619-6661. He'll make it easy for you. Let Derek put his network to work for you. You know what kind of party he throws?
Let's hear it.
Ordering nachos after midnight delivered to the house. That's the kind of person you're dealing with.
God, what a great guy. What a great guy.
I can't beat that.
Jeez.
Yes. Not kicking you out at 9. Got a bar in there. They got the shootout going on. Flames are playing the Jets, I think. Wow.
Where was my invite, Derek?
You're getting.
I got to get an invite to this party next year. This sounds incredible.
Well, I'm not going to tell you to buy or sell your place, but if you ever have to, you know where to go.
Guy.
There you go. We'll get to a comment on the game before we get back to more of the bigger picture discussion on the Calgary Flames and where they're at. What did we make of Dustin Wolf's performance tonight in the Calgary net?
Yeah, I mean, not great. Really wasn't that great. I know there's a couple of the goals. There were some deflections, like one off Kevin Ball's stick. So you can't fully put that on Dustin Wolf, but at the same time, this is your guy that you've given a 7-year contract. They have been beating him high quite a bit. It's a little concerning. There's certainly not a goalie controversy by any stretch, but
no,
you definitely want to see Wolf up his game a little bit because, like I said, just
Also, you probably don't want to give Brandon Hagel a wide open look from the hash. That's not ideal either. So there were some breakdowns in front of him. There you saw the second goal. The third one bounces in off ball. I think we have that one, Jack. Or did we just play it? But yeah, a shot that you kind of did, but your stick knocks it in past your goalie.
Yeah, it's tough. Now, I'm curious to get your thoughts on, how do you think they should split starts moving forward here? Because I think at one point last week, Wolf was on pace to start 71 or 72 games, which is just too much.
Not going to happen.
No,
I
don't think so either.
And I think,
what do you think it should be, though?
Well, I think that how many games do they play now? 25?
24, 25, something like that.
47 left. Does that sound right? Or am I off 57?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
They put in like a percentage.
So I would say at the beginning of the year, you wanted Dustin Wolf to get out. He basically played half the games till the new year, and then they upped his workload a bit. They gave Dambledar some tough starts, some better teams. They got Wolf at home. They eased him in. It was his rookie year. He was sensational, and at times he wasn't great, and they'd go to Vladar, and he was good for a while, and then Wolf would be great when he came back in. And I think that back-and-forth competition is good for every goalie. I also think the start of the year was unsustainable, where they said, oh, yeah, we're starting the season with 3 and 4, and Wolf's going in for all of them. Mm-hmm. Like that was we don't have confidence in Devin Cooley statement more than a we want to play Dustin Wolf statement. He was great in the opener against Edmonton, barring the door at 3-0, allowing them to come back and win. But at this point, like short-term view, I think you got to play Cooley as much as you can. Not like every game of the road trip, but I'd start him in Florida. Mm-hmm. And maybe they say, Dustin, that wasn't you, that was us. Get back in there. Go get him against the Panthers. But right now, Cooley gives you a better chance to win. The numbers are sparkling, leading the league in save percentage, I believe. He allowed one early, settled in, had a disallowed goal from Nick Paul, rightfully so. Got his foot taken out, and then Kucherov late, but it was curtains at that point anyway. I've really liked Cooley. I would go to Cooley. There's 3 games left on the road trip. If he's playing like this, give him 2 of the 3. Now, if he comes in against Florida, for example, and soils himself, by all means, go back to Wolf. Or let him finish the road trip. But on this day, the 26th of November, Cooley is giving you consistently a better chance to win than Wolf. I don't expect that to last the whole year, but I'm going to try to take advantage of it if I'm Ryan Huska and I'm graded on wins and losses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think for me, I would go with like between now and the end of the season, like a 60-40 kind of split between Wolf and Cooley. I still think you want to give Wolf the majority of the starts just because, like I said, he is your guy. You've hitched your wagon to him for the next 7 years beyond this one. You need to make sure that he's your guy. But like you said, like Cooley's been outstanding this year. Like there's an argument to be made that he's been the best goalie in the NHL between save percentage, goals against. You want to look at goals saved above expected per 60. Last I checked, he was second in the NHL in that metric. Yeah. He's been absolutely phenomenal. And one thing I'm curious is, could he be a trade chip one of these days? Could the Flames see him as a guy that maybe they could get a pretty decent draft pick for him or something along the lines of that?
I threw it in a group chat that I don't know if it was when you were in or not, but I said, look, like if he's playing like this, there will be a team that says we could use a little insurance policy in net, or maybe our starters wobbly a little. We'll give someone that can come in a platoon. Well, I don't know that Devin Cooley's going to play like this the rest of the year. I don't know if he's going to play like this the rest of the road trip. It's been a really good, 5-6 starts in the NHL with the Calgary Flames.
Yeah.
So while he's hot, ride him. And if he can continue to play like this, it's like, okay, what is the cost of a backup? What is a backup commanding in the market? They like the Russian kid, and it's his we didn't know who was better at the end of training camp. It was flip a coin. So if you could turn him into a third or a prospect or even a second in a bidding war, I don't know. But if he plays like this, he's an asset. The word of caution is that, like, they're goalies. Woo!
Yeah.
Like, he's playing really well right now, so use him. There will be stretches where he's not playing well because every goalie runs through stretches like that, let alone, Vezina guys or the guys that have only, played 0 NHL games in the last year, which was Devin Cooley before this season.
Mm-hmm. And the other question, I think, if you're the Flames, you have to ask yourself is, like, what do we see this guy as long term? Is he this guy who's going to be a 9-10 plus save percentage guy, or is he going to be closer to the guy we saw in the American Hockey League for the second half of last season? Like, what he's doing right now is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's necessarily sustainable. So if you think that, like, this is the maxed out version of Devin Cooley right now, the idea of potentially throwing him out in the trade market actually, I think, makes a lot of sense from just an asset management standpoint.
He's a free agent this summer. If he plays like this all year, he's going to get interest in the free agent market
for sure.
And he makes less than league minimum, $775,000, because it was a multi-year deal and the league minimum's risen since then. If you're a cap strap team and you're in a goaltending pinch, this is your bargain bin item, and you might be able to get something for that. But again, we're March, first week of March is the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like 4 months away. So,
lots of time,
3.5 months, lots of time to see what Devin Cooley is at that point. It might be Prosvetov up at that point. You don't know, right? Like, if it's the second half he had last year after the concussion issues, he's not in this league. So ride him while he's hot is my thought. I'd use him in Florida on Friday afternoon. You?
I might go to Wolf on Friday and then throw Cooley in on Sunday against the Carolina Hurricanes, because the Hurricanes, they throw so many shots on net. Like, I feel like with the play style of the Hurricanes, having a bigger goalie in net might actually make sense, because I think, they put a lot of bodies in front. They use a lot of screens. Cooley's probably not going to be able to see the puck a whole heck of a lot, and having a bigger goalie in net, you're just going to have pucks hit you. So from just like a stylistic standpoint, I think Cooley in Carolina makes sense to me.
Yeah, fair. And again, if he's outplaying Wolf, which he is right now, don't be afraid to give him more starts. Like, I'm not saying he's taking the job, but we even saw Casey DeSmith. Dallas is riding him a bit. His numbers are really good. No one thinks Casey DeSmith is better than Jake Ottinger, but for a few weeks, he's performing better. I see that as an equivalent here.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I checked the numbers before today's game, and in the month of November, the Flames, I think, had the fifth best team save percentage in the NHL at all strengths. The goaltending has been very good this month here. What's that?
That took a hit tonight.
Yeah, it did it up.
Let's take a look at the road ahead. We do that for Platinum Mitsubishi. Family owned and operated by lifelong Calgarians. At Platinum, lease and finance rates start at 0.99%. Check out the Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV. That is Calgary's best-selling plug-in hybrid SUV. Get into the best back cars in the country with a standard 10-year powertrain warranty at Platinum Mitsubishi, 2720 Barlow Trail, Northeast. Walk us through the road trip. We noted the teams, the days, but we'll do it again for Platinum Mitsubishi.
Yeah, we got on Friday. The Calgary Flames are in Florida to take on the defending Cup champs. Not an easy game. Then you head to Sunday, where I don't even remember the last time the Flames won in Carolina. They seem to get throttled in that building.
They got a loser point there last year, and it was a
miracle.
Absolutely floored. Dan Vladar was upside down. He might have made 40+ saves. And
Kevin Ball was blocking shots with his head. It was just, that was a wild game. So that's going to be a tough one to win. And then we got the Toilet Bowl 2.0.
That's right.
On Tuesday, the Predators and Flames battling for 32nd to get Gavin McKenna. So that'll be a fun one for sure.
We were in attendance for the first Toilet Bowl. It did not disappoint.
Did not disappoint. Lived up to expectations.
It definitely was as advertised.
What's that building like in Nashville?
It's awesome. It's great. They got live music. Like, they lean into everything Nashville is. It's loud. They got a great horn, like top 5 horn in the league. I always forget. Excellent work there. Not huge, but certainly not a small rink. Great energy. Everything feels new when you leave the Saddle Dome and go to other rinks. So it felt new, but
yeah,
I haven't been to UBS in New York, which I believe is one of the newest rinks in the NHL. Little Caesars, people love that one in Detroit. Coming to a Calgary near you, Scotiabank Place, Fall 27, and it was announced sneakily today that they think they'll get the keys May of 27, which would be way ahead of the fall opening, which allows you to throw some big parties there for Stampede, for Jack and his buddies. Get some country artists in, ram that sucker full. 10 days in a row of serial killer Garth Brooks. Right, Jack? That's your move for that one?
Yes, sir. No, I'm here.
All right. That is your road ahead for Platinum Mitsubishi. They do get home and have an interesting 4-game homestand. It is Minnesota, Utah, Detroit, and I'm missing another team in there because I wrote Detroit twice because I'm a moron. But 4-game homestand will follow this 5-game road trip. It's also 7 of 8 on the road when you look back at that Buffalo-Chicago swing before they came home for the 1 against Dallas. So they are going to get some home cooking around early December, and then again around Christmas time. They play 3 of 4 between the 18th and the 27th at home. Those are always fun games, holidays, buzz in the building. 2 Oilers games, home and away. Bookend Christmas. That won't be boring.
Yeah, you got Oilers in Calgary, December 27th. Then you got the Bruins, which is always a fun game too. It seems like the Flames and Bruins always play unbelievable hockey at the Saddledome for some reason. I know, like during the Gaudreau era, I remember he had like that hat trick, the overtime winner, and then I think there was a game where they tied it up with like a second left, like just absolute mayhem when those two teams play. And then you got New Year's Eve, which is always a blast too. So yeah, we got some fun games coming up here in December.
I want to give a shout out, but I need you to just man the ship for a moment. The Unicorn has jumped on Afterburner. We love them. 2 locations in town, downtown, in Mission. You basically can like throw a rock and hit the Mission location, I believe.
Wow, you're giving away my location here. You're putting my safety in jeopardy here, Pinder. But no, the Unicorn, it's a fantastic spot. One of my go-to watering holes, and yes, a proud sponsor of Afterburner. You can do everything there from golden tea to darts, you can crush some beers, eat some wings. They got delicious food, a great menu, and it's one of the best sports bars in Calgary, in my opinion, especially the one down here in Mission. So
they'll be buzzing tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Shout out to our friends at the Unicorn. And they're one of, I believe, 6 Molson hockey houses in Calgary this season. So Molson's the official beer partner of the Calgary Flames. And if you're at the Unicorn before the game, you're wearing a jersey, you're ready to watch, there could be a Molson rep there to give you tickets to the game that night. So get to the Unicorn pregame. Both locations are either within train or walking distance to the Dome. So be sure to check it out. Lots of good stuff going on there.
Stephen Avenue or Mission.
Oh, look at that. Okay. What a hat. Gorgeous.
We won't bow to any sponsor. But beer and sports.
Count Pinder in.
Big shouts to the crew over there. Again, pre-post, any sports, great place to be. Buck hunter, pinball, darts, and more. And the game day $7 pints of Molson Canadian. Joel Farabee took a stick. It was not pretty. He was leaking all over. Drew a double minor. Did return to the game. And there's a few talking points. There's the Joel Farabee's playing well. Joel Farabee gets hurt. And the Flames power play was no good tonight. Which angle would you like to take?
Well, we'll start with Farabee. We'll start positive. I'll take it away. I mean, he got like a pretty serious.
Boy,
I was thinking to myself, I'm like, how the hell did he find room to beat Vasilevsky from this angle? Like, Vasilevsky takes up the entire net. So the fact he's able to beat him is pretty impressive. I think he's been pretty solid this year.
I do too.
Not spectacular, nothing crazy, but I think he's been rock solid. I think he's been quite a bit better than he was last year. He's up to 6 goals on the season, which is half decent. That's
given how snake bitten he was for the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, like he could easily have like 10 or 12 by now.
Yeah.
So
he'd lead the team if he finished a little more. I think that's a guy that'll garner some interest. I mean, the salary, maybe
salary in the term is a little worrisome for me.
But the player is exactly the type of guy you could see thriving in a playoff series. He plays a hard game. He goes to the dirty areas. He generates scoring chances, and he can play up and down your lineup. So
yeah, smart guy.
I think when you look at the glut of wingers that they have, and what do I mean by that? Well, it's like, you got Pospisil out, you got Hanzik out. You'd love to have Gridden up in the spring. And you're still like, seeing Zeri on the 4th line and things. Not anymore, but it's a lot. Beecher may end up being a winger, not a center. Maybe he's here, maybe he's not. I don't know. But if you could open a little room on the wing, like Marty Pospisil likely will return at some point. Honzik will return at some point. Gridden will come back up from the minors at some point. You're probably going to find a way to add a young guy here or there, or have, maybe it's a Roy Cairns opportunity at some point to open a spot in the wing. This is the type of guy that does not match their long-term vision, but is having a good year. And I think you could turn into some assets based on, the appetite around the contract and the term.
Yeah, I mean, you'll probably have to eat some salary on that, upwards of 50% potentially. Because, I mean, I think he makes $5.5 million right now. That's tough for a third-line winger with 2 years remaining on his contract.
Yeah, I'm just looking at his deal.
Might have to eat a little bit, but
5 even, 2 years left.
5 even. Okay.
And so if you're a hollowed out team that's spending a lot on your top players and needs some wing depth, great. But the problem is those teams typically don't have an extra $5 million to spend on a guy.
Right.
So that'll be the secret sauce if they do move him. But you're right. It's the contract's more onerous than actually how much the player could help a team.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And he's been quite a bit better this year. To be honest, if Ross and Farabee could have just produced at like their career averages last season, the Flames they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, they missed by a tiebreak. So one more point was all they needed. Hell yeah.
It was extremely disappointing to see the production from those two guys. And then you look up and you see Andrei Kuzmenko putting up like a point per game in LA. So that was tough, but it's nice to see Farabee bounce back here. And like we said, he's been really solid this year.
The power play has not been very solid this year. And
for 5.
Tonight had all kinds of opportunities to get them back in the game, almost in sequential order. They get 3 power plays in the first, the third one trickles into the second. And then immediately after an Anderson penalty, they get the double minor. It was like, fellas, there was your chance to get back in this game. They chose not to take it, or, they just weren't allowed to do it. But it's for a team that doesn't score. If you can get a little boost from special teams, that's great. This ain't that group.
No. And the thing was, like, sometimes your power play can build you momentum. It did the complete opposite of that tonight. They're down 4-0. They're down 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. And they, like you said, they get all these power plays. That was the time for them to get back in this game, even just to swing the momentum back in their favor. And they did absolutely nothing with it. 0 for 5 tonight. I think there might have been maybe one or two like decent scoring chances. But really it just killed it. I actually think it was probably the main reason why they lost this game tonight.
And they noted it at the top of the broadcast. The Tampa was in on a penalty killing heater. So you're up against people that are good. I think they'd killed 13 or 14 in a row over their last 4 games. I know they made note of that on the television broadcast. So, tip your cap to them. But again, if you're going to be an offensively challenged team, you'd love to see that power play humming a little higher, but I also would understand if there's a correlation between teams that can't score and power plays that don't have a lot of firepower. That's fair too.
Yeah, and they just don't have the skill, right? Like you watch the Tampa power play tonight and you see Nikita Kucherov just putting on a masterclass. There's nobody on the Flames that even comes close to the playmaking ability of a guy like Kucherov. Morgan Frost, he's got flashes every now and then. Huberdeau, I don't know really what's happened to Huberdeau's playmaking. Like I hear some people out there say that, if only Huberdeau had people that could just bury chances and put away passes that he gives.
That's how he used to play.
That's how he used to play. I don't see that in Calgary. Yeah, the elite playmaking is just completely gone with this guy, unfortunately. And that's another killer for this power play. The power play quarterback, either Anderson or Weegar, doesn't really get the job done on most nights. It's tough for them just to score with that type of group out there. That's where you'd love to see like a Zeri. Yeah, Parak. You'd love to see a Zeri step up and show off that skill that he has. You'd love to see Frost take the next step and start to produce a little bit more. Like there's talented guys on this team, but they're just not really performing at the level that you want them to right now.
Where is Rasmus Anderson's stock for you? It's been quite a roller coaster the last, I want to say, 10 months.
Oh, has it ever? I mean, like for this season, I thought he got off to like a pretty mediocre start the first 10 games, but the last 12 to 15 games here, he's been really good. I know he got absolutely slammed tonight. He was a -4. He was on for a bunch of goals against. Like it wasn't his best night, but in terms of his stock, one thing that I'm kind of thinking about lately is that with the salary cap, the way it's going, it looks like teams are doing everything in their power to keep their own guys. And because you're keeping your own guys, all of a sudden, if a Rasmus Anderson hits the market, I almost wonder if the demand for a guy like that is going to be sky high, just because those types of players aren't becoming available very much anymore in today's NHL. So I think he can get a lot for the guy, like at least a first round pick plus probably maybe like a little bit more than a Noah Hannafin. And his play lately is definitely helping with that for sure. Because I thought his reputation really took a hit last year. The minus 38 on a team that almost made the playoffs is not a good look for somebody. I know it's not a great stat.
Had the broken leg, which I think helped people hand wave away the plus minus, but
it was for the last month of the season.
Sure, but that's not insignificant. I didn't like his first. I didn't like his October, and he's been on a really nice heater right now, and I think that's a major positive for Craig Conroy moving forward, because it still sounds like the team and player aren't close. The other factor about the cap going up is like the number you balked at with Anderson. A different team might be okay with, because they're like, look, maybe 9 is too much, but it won't be in 3 years when the cap's 125 million or whatever it's going to be.
Absolutely.
So if we're in a window to win now, there in October, I wondered if this was a max term player anymore, but there's just so few right shot defensemen that have an edge, that can play big minutes, that can play all situations, albeit probably power play 2 rather than 1. There's not going to be a shortage of suitors. It's going to be Connie finding the right match in terms of like, do I want young players? Do I want picks? Do I want prospects? But I would hope that you could, aim to extract what you got for Lindholm, like 5 pieces for a player. Get a first, get a good prospect, get, maybe even a roster player that helps you come down the stretch and need some minutes, and another late pick and a C prospect. Like, go do it.
Yeah.
You got it for Lindholm. I don't know that the appetite will be less than what there was for Lindholm 2 years ago.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how Anderson goes about his business for like the next couple months here, because if you go back to last year, remember he gets off to that ridiculous start where he literally looks like he's the best defenseman in the NHL for the first 7-8 games
Scoring,
of the season. Oh yeah, like it was phenomenal. And then basically once November 1st hit, it completely went downhill for him. So he's on another heater right now. Let's see if he can kind of keep it up. He's not going to be over a point per game player, but can he be an effective guy night in, night out, and not chewing on minuses like he was last year? It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, tough one for him tonight, but I think Connie's dealing from a position of strength compared to 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. We all love and know Lanny McDonald. He is an absolute legend hockey player and an even more spectacular human. We're lucky to get to chat with Lanny. We saw him on the Nashville trip. He's an absolutely legend off the ice, never mind his accomplishments and winning the cup and going out in style. But he's made some incredible comebacks on the ice, but also off the ice. One of them didn't happen in the arena. After going into cardiac arrest at the Calgary airport, it was an incredible cardiac team at Foothills Medical Center that saved his life. Now Lanny's using that second chance to give back, helping Calgary Health Foundation raise funds to upgrade our city's cardiac catheterization labs. I think I'm saying that right. Catheterization labs? I don't know what the labs are, but they're helping with cardiac issues, friends. These upgrades mean faster diagnosis, safer procedures, and more lives saved right here at home. You can see Lanny share his emotional story on the Calgary Health Foundation's website, and until December 31st, your donation will be matched. Head to givehealth.ca to learn more. I talked with Lanny about that scary near end-of-life moment for him, and he is still incredibly grateful for all the people, including those, as we noted, at the Calgary Health Foundation and the Foothills Medical Center that saved his life. And of course, I believe there were some first responders there in the airport. We still got the legend, Bobby. We still got him.
Thank God. Yeah, that sounded like a very, very scary moment for him. So very happy that he's still here with us.
Givehealth.ca for more. And Lanny shares his story on the website there. Jack, should we get into the super chats? Why don't we do a spin around the league? There's lots we can do here. Super chats it is. All right, boss.
Super chats.
Super. All right. Cian Resnick. Nobody tell Don Maloney that Lucic is a free agent. Well, okay. First off, his name's Don Maloney, so close, but you spelt it wrong. That might have been a typo, Bobby. He is, and no, I don't know that there's any significant interest. I've seen some videos. It's got
Oh.
men's league vibes.
It's
About
big
it.
time. He looked terrible out there.
And look, I would never slander a guy for trying.
No,
but it's not happening. It's not happening.
No.
And, there was obviously the off-ice incident that was not good. He has changed some habits in his life, being a better human, and he wants to chase this. Great. The odds of it happening, I would say very close to 0, if not 0.
Yeah, he got released by the Blues either today or yesterday, and it's looking like it's over.
Yeah, and that was in the American League. Bueller's back 9 times. Is Wolf actually Nabokov and Cooley is Kipper 2.0? Ferris, I would like to tell you that Bueller, larger samples will be needed to start making these incredibly San Jose comparisons. Because, of course, it was Nabokov in San Jose that allowed Kipper to get Calgary because Toskala was there. Devin Cooley's been very good in 6 starts. Right?
Yeah, it's not enough of a sample size.
It's not yet. 70. It's not 20. It's not even 10. And we've seen a much larger sample from Wolf. I would put way more stock in the full season last year than what we've seen for a month and a half.
Hey, but I mean, there are some fun similarities. Like Cooley comes from San Jose. Cooley's an older guy when he steps into the NHL, just like Kipper was. I think Kipper was like mid to late 20s when he stepped in.
He's a Finn that likes ripping darts in the office.
Loves smoking cigarettes. He's an interesting guy. Just like Cooley.
Guy.
Cooley's an interesting guy. I mean, there's some similarities there.
Both have pads,
right?
Paint on their masks.
Yeah.
Vowels in their names. Very similar.
Very similar.
Oh, look at this. The boys from the In the Dome podcast, $5. If a rebuild could rebiggle, how many rebiggles would a rebuild wriggle?
I love it.
We did have a tweet from the In the Dome podcast that we were saving for the show. So now would be a great time because, this organization, they don't like saying the R word, but they do like pointing out the types of things they'd like to do, like the Dallas model. Here are the fellas. So Tampa beats us in 2004 to win the cup. Since then, we've won 2 playoff rounds. They've got 2 cups, 4 finals appearances, and won 18 playoff rounds. But no, we can't follow that model because we don't want to be like Buffalo. That's what that face does for me. Valid. The Tampa model's a good one, boys.
Yep. Is it ever? There's a lot of good models to follow, similar to Tampa as well.
We got to get those boys on again soon. I've got the Afterburner calendar filled through November.
If you haven't listened in the dome yet, I was gonna say, if you haven't listened in the dome yet, and you're watching or listening to this podcast, go and listen to it because those guys are absolutely hilarious. Like,
you might learn some new words too.
Oh yeah, do you ever? I'll be like going out for like a walk or something. I'll be listening to their pod and I'll be like hysterically laughing, and people think I'm insane. Like it's fantastic. Those guys are so good.
They're wonderful. Proud to be part of us. I also have a Kent Wilson tweet while we're pumping contributors on Afterburner.
Perfect.
I think Kent's coming in next week. He was asking somewhere, what's the drinking game for Calgary? Sometimes people will be like, okay, anytime Kelly Rudy says that was tipped or whatever, you can make up your bingo card. Jonesy had the best answer. Get blackout drunk before puck drop. That would have worked tonight.
Oh, man. I wish I was pounding drinks tonight. I should have gotten the unicorn before coming on here.
Well, I mean, I would say you could do those things, but we're not going to put you on Afterburner if you do that, Bobby. We'll get Kent on.
He had a great article in Post Media the other day.
I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to because Boom mentioned it today. Can you Coles notes it or tease it for us, if you will?
Yeah, I mean, basically, he just called the Flames organization delusional for the way that they're going about their business right now. And Kent, I mean, he's been kind of the author of a lot of these rebuild talks and rebuild articles, and it's kind of another one of those. And man, it's a really good read, really, really good. He just drops just a bunch of common sense on hockey fans, and it just makes nothing but sense.
He has a way to cut through the opinions and the nonsense and the spin to just say, like, here are some facts. Mm-hmm. Why is this normal?
Yeah.
And I like that about him. He's an excellent writer. Shouts Kent. Shouts In the Dome boys. Anything is possible. 255, excuse me. Edmonton is going for the make.
That's okay.
Is that like a supersize there? The upsize? Yeah, can I get the McBiggled, please? I feel like we should pay you $2.55. That was awesome. In fact, I'll put $5 on that. Anything impossible? Next time you see me, $5. Okay, deal.
Yeah, that's great.
Shrimp Bobby, mate. 2 Aussie bucks. That's about 2 Canadian bucks. Are we sleeping on Gridden and his ceiling? Not at all. They are absolutely letting this kid shred. I checked in at some point on the weekend. He was 3rd in AHL scoring, not rookie scoring. 3rd in AHL scoring.
As a 19-year-old.
Yes, there's almost no 19-year-olds in that league.
Yeah.
If you come out of the CHL, you're not allowed to play in that league as a 19-year-old. I don't mean come out and get drafted out because Gridden was drafted out of the USHL, which allowed him to go play in the A as a 19-year-old versus Perek. CHL can't. Dumb rule, gone next year. Stupid CHL.
Hey, speaking of Aussies, we need to hear from Aussie Brad one of these days.
Everyone is saying that. We are efforting.
Good. Okay. I'm happy to hear that.
I have a level of concern that I'm not comfortable talking about on this program.
Okay.
Don't laugh.
Oh, God. Okay. Oh,
I don't know where he is. He's not responding.
That is concerning.
Yes,
all the crazy animals down there.
I hope Trigger's okay. I hope the man cave's all right.
We'll keep reaching out.
We need him in these dark times / outstanding tank times. Any more supers, Jacko? There's the working man. Working man 22. Is that the same old working man? Looks like it's same avatar. $2. In case anyone forgot, hashtag Oilers suck, hashtag Flames Nation.
Thank you for
I won't forget either of those things, working man. I really won't.
No.
Thank you for the reminder, though.
Watching the Oilers this season has just been phenomenal.
That was a popcorn night last night. I went to the
entire hockey world
game.
The entire hockey world watching that game. Doesn't get.
And I was like, there's only one game tonight. I'll go see the CHL against the U.S. National Development Team program. And I was like, oh my God, all the chats are buzzing. Skinner's doing it again. Oh dear.
Pickard's getting lit up.
I'm like, why don't they have Oilers in 30? The one night I'd watch it. Where's Oilers in 30? Blackfoot 27, 279. Too many drinks this offseason for Wigger and the team. I don't know if that's the case or not. I cannot verify that. It is libel, perhaps, or even slander. So that does not reflect the opinions of Flames Nation. But we do thank you for the 279 for the kids.
The Flames did look a little hungover tonight, especially when you consider that start they got off.
Start was not good.
Oh boy!
If they were playing guilty, they were doing a bad job of it.
What is going on with Wigger this year?
I think he's been paired with replacement level players and has been just okay.
I think he's.
I would love to
see
McKenzie Wigger with a legitimate top 4 defenseman. We have not seen it since the trades of Tanev and Hanifin. They never put him with Rasmus.
Yeah.
And last year, he literally carried Miramanov and Hanley all year. They didn't even give him Perek, who's got, some IQ and vision about him. It's been more Miramanov, more Hanley, even some Jake Bean, and now Yan Kuznetsov, who I think is off to a wonderful start to his career. I believe, like a second rounder out of UConn, but slower developing, big-bodied guy. But, again, it's his first 20 games in the league. Could you give Wigger something that is a known commodity in this league, like a top 4 defenseman? But yeah, no, I have not chatted with McKenzie, but I imagine he would say it's not his best year. But look who he's playing with.
Yeah, there's that. I also think there's the whole aspect of that he's trying to do too much because
see a bit of that.
Because I think he desperately wanted to make the Olympic team. I think he desperately wants to get this Calgary Flames team into the playoffs, and he knows that he's the best defenseman on this team. He's arguably the best skater on this team. And I think he put a lot of pressure on himself this year to kind of carry his team into the playoff fight and try to make the Olympic team. And I think it almost might be kind of backfiring on him a little bit right now.
Yeah, and we're trying to get between the ears of people that we don't talk to, so we're guessing. But safe to say it's not been his best year. He's not a bad player.
No,
the mistakes, right back to the time they made the trade. That summer day that the Blue Jays put up 26 runs against the Boston Red Sox, and I was at a bull riding event. All this went down the same day. Great player, a lot of skills, great compete, plays with an edge, but the mistakes end up on highlight reels.
Yeah.
That scouting report is true as it's ever been, and that doesn't mean he's a bad player. But I would like to see him with an established NHLer.
That would be nice. That's a good starting point.
It's been 2 years, right?
Jeez.
Is that a crazy ask?
I don't think so.
Okay. And again, they just don't have one. It's not like they're mad at him or something.
Do you remember who he played with in his first season in Calgary? Was it Zadorov or I forget?
No, it was the two big Lugans in the back end. Wigger would have been playing the left side Tanev on the right, and Hannafin and Anderson. Is that something?
Yeah,
right?
something like that.
That was your top 4.
Yeah.
And Zaddog was your 5. Branson was the 6 before that. You probably got like a Pahal or a Dennis Gilbert at some point on the right there. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, good player. Not a great year. Definitely not getting minutes with good players as a pair. All right, Jackie.
That is all for now. We've got our Oilers troll AI in the chat. I said,
oh, good. Yep.
Super chat or timeout. So we might get one more.
Okay. Well, while we wait to see if the trolls have any money or if they maybe need to run upstairs and get mommy's credit card back down to the basement in a moment. We'll see. But why don't we breeze through some of the scores around the NHL tonight?
Let's do it.
We saw the big Nashville W. That'll help in the inverse standings, as I like to call them. Other finals from around the NHL today. We'll start with the finals. Jets fall in Washington. Could be a long 4 to 6 weeks without Connor Hellebuck. Not a major procedure, but they want to get him 100 rather than playing at 90 or whatever it was. They cleaned out the knee, minor arthroscopic or something scopic surgery. I'm not a doctor. Keep moving. Leafs do get a win. Overtime. Another loser point handed out, this time to Columbus. 2-1 victory for the Leafs. OT winner. Wee Willie Nylander. Big goal there. He scored an OT winner a couple weeks ago. Gorgeous one, too. Pred, 6-3. Holy. Man. They were down 2-1 heading into the third, and they win 6-3. Stammer, Yossi, O'Reilly, Halla, Blankenberg. 5 goals in the third. Eustace Annunen, the victory. Cam Talbot, the loss. Other finals, Boston 3-0 winners over the Islanders. Islanders have been fun. Your older brother's Islanders team, old, not allowed to have mustaches, good players, but couldn't score. They're fun. They're younger. They are not boring to watch these days.
I can't get a read on Boston. Are they good? Are they mediocre? Are they bad?
Big losing streak. Bad start at the front.
Yeah.
Like, what are you? No idea. Rangers get a win on the road. They're good at that. They're horrible at home. 4-2 over Carolina. Flyers beat the Panthers 4-2. That's the Flames' next opponent. Note your start time, Friday afternoon for Flames and Panthers.
4 straight goals for the Flyers, too.
Another overtime. Devils 3-2 over the Blues. That's a loser point for the Blues. That'll help the inverse standings a bit as well. The OT winner, Simon Nemec again. Was it Slovak or Czech?
He's breaking out. He had an OT winner a couple weeks ago.
The Slovakian defenseman has been sensational. He had 3 goals and an overtime winner earlier. Yeah. He's not long in the tooth either. That's still a good young player. And the Penguins 4-2, Jack. Dan the Man Muse with a victory.
Let's go.
At home over the Sabres. Rust, Dumba, Hayes, and Dewar. All right. Games underway right now. Chicago up 1 on the Wild midway through the third through 40. Avalanche are up 5 rip on the Sharks. Hoy. Avalanche are far and away the best team in the league, Bobby. The gap between them to second is now bigger than the gap from second to 25th.
No, that's crazy. That's
Montreal
wild.
up 2-0 midway through the game against Utah. Ottawa up 3-1 after 20 against the Knights, who are skidding, as you noted, and the Flames do hold their first-round draft selection. Dallas and Seattle tied at 1. Vancouver up 2-0 on the Ducks. Your final scores.
I thought the Ducks were going to tee off on the Canucks tonight because the Canucks have Nikita Tolopilo in net. Kevin Lankman didn't make the road trip. The Ducks are scoring 1 million goals a game. Adams Foot's defensive system has just given up 1 million chances a night, and of course they're up 2-0.
Maybe they ripped a few darts, hammered some cashews, and looked at the advanced numbers
in a Russian basement somewhere.
I mean, you can do that. There's the internet. Kane and Carlson, your goal scorers, and quiet for the Ducks. But again, that one is still just through 20. Don't write off the Ducks yet.
Nope.
Okay, Jackie, let's get some bets and let's get the H out of here. We've got football. Oh, come on, AI. It's for the kids. That's
come
right.
On.
Y'all be crazy.
Unreal.
Y'all be crazy. 2352 saying, come on, AI. It's for the kids. $20. Thank you. Appreciate that. Y'all
Thank
be
you,
crazy.
sir.
There's there's 2 shows that happen. There's what we talk about, and then there's like the cage match, which is the chat all the time. I can only pay attention to one. This is a spill off of the cage match onto the main show. This is like when someone gets power bombed through the broadcast table. All of a sudden they're in our house. Thank you. Y'all be crazy. $20 for the kids. Bets. We have some bets. What were we hitting on the bets? Recall, refresh, remind. I hope this isn't a game that's already started, but I think it probably is. Damn it. Did I do that to you, Jack? 2+ points from Quinn Hughes. Put that one down earlier. Here's what we're going to do. Because these are stale, I wanted to get them off at the beginning of the show, but error, my fault. Apologies, Bet365. We're going to jump in on this live line right now. Anaheim down 2-0 after 20. The money line right now for the game is Ducks plus 270. Could the Canucks fold like a cheap suitcase with a guy you've never heard of playing in net? Maybe. And if they do, plus 270 for the Ducks in regulation. If you want to play the puck line, Ducks plus 1.5, plus 115. I think this is not going to be a Canucks blowout. I'm going to dance on both those. How's that sound?
I like that.
Okay, very good. And again, we do all that, all the fun, keep you invested in a bad game. Why not? Bet365, our good friends. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app, get in the game, use the code NATION. Player props, game props, live in-game wagering. You can bet on block shots. You can tease that puck line, whatever you want to do, fellas, gals, ladies, men. It's all out there. Let's go.
We got some intriguing matchups tomorrow, too, in the NFL.
Yeah, no NHL tomorrow. Lots on Friday. It's an all NFL day. All the other sports bow in the presence of the NFL. It'll be Green Bay, Detroit in the morning. Your midday game, Kansas City and Dallas in Dallas. And the night game has got some intrigue where it might not have looked like it 2 weeks ago. Joe Burrow sounds like he'll be back with Jamar Chase, who was suspended for spitting. They get the Baltimore Ravens that have won 5 in a row and usurped Jack's Steelers for top spot in the AFC North.
Tough time to be a Steelers fan, eh, Jack?
Go Bengals. Go Bengals.
You mean it. For sure. Okay, fellas, appreciate your work today. Congrats to Craig Conroy on the almost done contract that I think he is richly deserved. And to the Flames PR staff, that's better than the last decision you made / Don Maloney made. Flames get clobbered. They're back in action Friday afternoon. We'll see who starts in net, and we'll see how they do in the old Southeast Division swing. Their last 13 games to the state of Florida and North Carolina, now 2-10-1. Appreciate you being with us. See you, buddies.